Guys, Team Rate and Rage here with Kai and Jack. What did you play and how did it go?
We played the same deck as the others, Fiendsmith, Kashtira, and we both got top 32.
I went X1-1 in Swiss and he won X2 in Swiss. Right?
I was X2 in Swiss. Yes.
Okay, show us your deck.
The start of the deck, through Lacrima. This is the best balance of the deck. It plays through every hand trap, besides the one of Gamma. But hand trapping this card is very hard because you usually need to hand trap this twice, because you need to negate this and then negate this, but then this card is still in the graveyard with Requiem to get more engine or to build up another interruption with the trap in the main deck. Then obviously 3 Engraver and the Lurry for the Fiendsmith engine. Spells and traps, 2 Tract and 1 Paradise. This is as one of us really good, especially against Fire King, because sending the island with this card nukes our board, and if the opponent doesn't realize this can send the Desiree, you get a big advantage of that.
Maybe for all the people that don't know the card, the combo is when you have Lacrima and Requiem in the graveyard and opponent turn, you just use Lacrima, summon Requiem, Requiem, summon Lacrima, Lacrima send. This card says when your opponent special summons a monster, you can banish it and sends 1 Fiendsmith card from extra deck or deck to the graveyard, so you send Desiree. And it's always a disruption. And in some matchups, you just search with the Engraver, for example, against trap decks and set it to
destroy the whole board, yes. Against Lab, for example, you can just end on this and a way to summon Desiree on that turn, and then you can use the board in the end phase.
Yes.
Yeah, that's for the Fiendsmith part. The other part is the Kashtira part. Both engines work pretty well with each other because of Moon, and both engines also are really good in true hand traps because they always provide you more interruptions even through hand traps. 3 Fenrir and 2 Unicorn, 3 Planet and 1 Birth. It's the only brick in the deck next to the trap. We wanted to cut down on the Unicorn because we wanted to play a little bit lower deck count. Going second, this is worse than Fenrir. That's why we chose to play 2. And you don't want to draw too many cash cards in your opening hand, especially if this gets negated. Drawing too many cash cards is pretty bad.
And they're pretty good in simplified game state when you just hand trap your opponent and the opponent don't have really much follow-up or a small field, and they just run over the other bodies, and then you can just play.
Yeah, that's the whole idea of the deck. You just hand trap the opponent to death, simplify the game state, and then you trade with the Kashtiras and piece of cards positively into their hand traps. And that worked out really well, especially against fire. Now to the hand trap part, we both played 42 cards. With 23 hand traps on the main deck. We played 3 Ash, this is a no-brainer, 3 Veiler, 3 Mourner, 3 Imperm, this is like pretty standard. Then we also chose to play Ghost Earth because you can hit Deception, for example, but also other cards against Centurion. This card is great. Then we also played, this is really nice, Dominus Impulse, because all the cash cards and defensive cards are light, dark, light, earth or wind. So this one does not lock you out of the engine. It turns off Ash, which is a little bit annoying, but then you have to throw the Ash before you use the Impulse. The Purge, sorry. Then we also played, I played Bell and Tulip.
For me, I decided for Drawl over Bell and 1 Bologna because my side deck is slightly different to Cars, and I wanted a card that is good, a hand trap that is good if you only draw 2 hand traps, and Bell is better if you draw 3 hand traps. It's the best 3rd hand trap, but like if you only draw 2 hand traps, Bell gets worse than Drawl in my opinion. And against the fire decks, I just wanted to get more value out of my hand traps, and it randomly hits Memento and Mermaid. And yes, the Bologna is also fine because like blowout going second, of course, but when you go first, you can sometimes normal summon it and make Moon with your Cash monsters. And yes, I needed one space in the side deck. That's why I ended up playing Bologna on the main.
Nip was the worst hand trip for me because usually you won't activate Nip because you stop the opponent beforehand. I resolved Nip once, I think, in a little tournament. It won me the game though, but Nip was for sure the worst one for me. Negating Wanted with Bell can be very good, especially if they use Hollow chaining 1 and chain Wanted, you chain Bell. Bell negates activation, so the Wanted goes to the graveyard because of game mechanics, and the Hollow fizzles if they don't have a second simple sports card to send for the Hollow.
Yeah, we expected a lot of tempi. That's why Nip get worse, and Nip was probably for the Snake Eye decks in general. But like I had one scenario where Nip came up against Tempi when he opened with sealed, then he just started playing in my battle phase, summoned 5 times, then I nipped him, so it's not completely dead against Tempi. I didn't see that card that often, but when I saw it was always fine.
Yeah. That's for the main deck.
And we played 42 cards with 23 hand traps, even if you play worse hand traps, because the chance of getting 3 hand traps gets higher, and we wanted to we don't want to draw a double of the same hand trap.
And we wanted to reduce the risk to draw one of the bricks, because the hands you lose are the hands with too many dead cards. So these two are the reason also why we played like more cards than 40.
But they sometimes randomly good, because this is good with Tract and this is good with Fenrir. So it's sometimes okay, but usually they're dead.
For the extra deck, played the same extra deck. This was really good for me to Requiem. This is not a once per turn to use the effect, so if you summon this back in the opponent's end phase with Lacrima, you can use it to summon another Lacrima. Lacrima dumps Engraver, then you can link away the Lacrima for a second Requiem, and Requiem summons back another Engraver from the deck. So you get a lot of life leads in rotation. And also, of course, against Kashtira Unicorn, playing 2 is like very important.
And sometimes people distill this or Cosmic Cyclone, so they have a second one.
Yeah. Sequence is less important, but still good. I rarely went for a sequence. I usually prefer to go into a rank 6 instead of sequence, because this one loses to enters more often than Caesar. One Moon, of course, because you can go with the Kash cards into the Moon. One Agnum Day. One Princess and 2 Desiree for the Fiendsmith cards. Second one comes up sometimes if you have 1 Desiree on board and the trap in the graveyard, just to send the second Desiree. For example, against Typhon.
And it's also pretty good against unicorns, because when they rip Desiree, the trap is dead and sequence is dead. We also considered playing 2 sequence.
But there was no space, basically.
There was no space. We wanted more situational cards. And yes.
This card is crazy. This does infinite damage with a Desiree. If you have like this on board, this does piece of damage with 7k attack. It's really nice.
It's also nice into board breakers. You just end up Agnum Day with Lacrima Grave.
Yeah.
Then you play around Regeki.
Yeah, because 10 if you have this on field or on the graveyard and this in the graveyard and the Lacrima, you can or this on field, you can just okay the Raigeki, you let this die, and then in the opponent's battle phase you can use Lacrima to summon back the Agnum Day, and Agnum Day summons back Desiree to negate.
You can just negate the entire Senpai board then and win.
And SP for the last generic link monster. It comes up here and there. It conflicts with purge of course, so going second if you use purge you cannot go for SP. Yeah.
We also played IP onto the last second, but then we cutted it for the second Desiree because IP never comes up, and it feels worse to link your Cash monster away for IP, and you don't get that much value. Of course, sometimes when you get hand trap you can make IP, but yeah, the other cards just got more value and more situations, so we cut the IP. Then we played one Changira for Shifter against Senpai, so you just pass on Changira and he usually cannot kill you.
Yeah, it's really good into Raigeki of course, because this one sticks with 3k booty. Yeah.
One Caesar, of course, nothing to say. Then we played M7.
It was insane for me.
It's pretty good when the opponent has set cards. Most likely Imperm, you don't want to make Caesar or something, you just want to make M7 to get the hand trap back, and afterwards make Zeus so you don't lose against an Imperm has a late interruption. And that came up nearly every match for me.
And going second, of course, is very important, this package, because if you pressure your opponent, you cannot go for SP, you cannot go for Typhon, you cannot go for Caesar, because this is water. So you want something which has value and provides an interruption. This package is like insane for this purpose.
Then we played from Gaia. Sometimes when the opponent has two sets, so like for example double Imperm or like Impulse Imperm, you just want to make M7, Gaia on top and then Zeus for 2. Or like when the opponent only has one Imperm. So you play through that when you have to clear the board. And then one Typhon. When
This was great for me.
Yeah, sometimes you just only have hand traps and stop him, but he still gets extra deck monster on the board, and you get a beater with your hand traps.
Very good in simplified game states after a hand trap war.
Also cool when it survives on turn, next turn you can make Zeus on it.
Yeah, that's great. For the side deck, we played a slightly different side deck. This is the going first package. 3 deep barrier, mainly for 10 of course. 3 solemn strikes and 3 solemn judgments. These cards are very good into Snake Eyes, because hitting like a Snake Eyes Ash, a Black Witch is really good. Against Black Witch you go +1 for example. This one also hits like all the board breakers, like Talents is really good against this deck. Taking Caesar is kind of annoying, or taking a cash monster. That's why we played these over cards like DDG and Trap Trick.
And we wanted as many cards as possible against Tempai going first, and you can play those against every deck. And before we had like 3 Trap Trick, 2 or 3 DDGs, but like now we can side in 9 cards against Tempai, and before we only could side 6 cards.
Against Legacy, you want to trade their cards down anyways, which is very good with these cards, and DDG does not do that. It stuns them for 1 turn, but if they can keep all the resources and hand trap you to death, it's looking pretty bad for us.
Yeah.
So we decided to play these over.
So when the opponent kills you with hand traps and you have DDG, you just lose in turn 4. But like with strikes, you just take out their resources if they take out yours, and you come into grand game and have many good top decks and strong engines to top deck with.
Then we also played 1 Rysat, mainly for going first. If we draw too many cash cards, we can Fenrir search this or Planet search this to go into either Moon, of course, because it's a normal summon, we can search with Fenrir, or we can go into Shangri-La easier against Tenpai, for example, if we get shifted. And the last 5 spots were hand traps. We played different ones. I played 3 Puruya. Jack played 2 Puruyas.
My side deck looks a bit different. I only played 2 strike, 3 barrier, 3 judgment. One of these was the Delta package.
And I played 2 Typhoons.
I couldn't fit in the 9th trap because of the Delta package, but in my opinion, that's why I played the 3rd judgment, because of breakers. I was really afraid of Thrust and Talents. And I decided to play Delta because it's like pretty good against every deck going second, and it's also pretty nice against Jubel when they open the throne, and it does the same in my opinion as Typhon against Centurion, because you can negate Field Spell or the quick spell that's put the Centurion in the spell trap zone. And yes, I just wanted to have a generic hand trap against everything to side out the worst hand trap in the matchup.
And we also decided to not run Fufalos, unlike the others of the team, because Fufalos can be weird if you have too many hand traps and the opponent cannot play anyways. It's just really good if the opponent can push through your hand traps, or Fufalos is the only hand trap, and Fufalos can be good. And the other issue is if the opponent lets you start both sides, you have like 3 dead Puruyas and 3 dead Fufalos, which can lose you the game. I think 2 or 3 opponents let me go first both side, and I always do the one Puruya. Yeah, that was kind of annoying, but yeah.
would you change anything after the tournament?
No, I think main deck was fine. Side deck, extra deck were perfect for me. I think I would run another tournament again with the same deck. Yep.
And maybe we could change Nip because it was okay, but like.
Yeah, but there are no other good handles I wanted to main. Yeah.
I would neither change anything. Delta was pretty nice for me. Hit it always when I saw it. It was good. And yeah, I would play the same list again. I lost to Witcher Beast in top 32. Like the pretty worst matchup because I play really good into hand traps and you had like 4 engine cards and pushed through my 3 hand traps. And you didn't see any Fiendsmith cards in the match.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I played lost top 32 against Fiendsmith. Snake Eyes, I didn't draw any Fiendsmith cards. I got ashed on Requiem after I went to Moon and I lost because I wanted a really good engine hand with Fenrir and Black Witch as like a smash. Yeah. And shoutouts?
Shoutouts to the testing group, everyone from Rating Trade. Shoutouts to my sponsor, Card Investor, and all people from Berlin and all of my friends and family.
Also shoutouts to Ty, Emre,
Dennis lent me the cards.
Johannes. Shoutouts to the whole local store we were in Berlin. Also shoutouts to all the friends from Berlin, Leon, Leonard, Dennis, Mo, Colin, and shoutouts to Tim. That's it, I think.
Okay, thank you for the profile and Team Raid and Red signing out.